Welcome back. In the previous step, we created a couple of class components. First component and the second component. One of the things in React is that you can also create something called function components. In this step, let's try and understand what a function component is. Now, let's say I would want to build up a third component. How would we do that? To just get introduced to the concept of components and stuff, we are creating all the components in the same app file. Typically, we would actually create separate JavaScript files for each of these. But for now, let's keep it simple and directly create them in the app. At a later point in this course, we'll actually move them out to separate files. So I'll say class third component, extends component, third component, and third component, right? This is basically repetitive stuff, right? There is nothing new that we are doing in here. This is exactly what we were doing in the previous step. So this is how you do a class component. So now I say third component and quickly load up the page. Okay, I see the third component in here. That's cool. So we have a third component, but we want to create a function component. So we want to create third component as a function component. The way we can do that is by simply saying function third component. So the name of the function is third component, and open up the close brace and open brace, and inside that you can say return whatever you are returning from the render class. So as simple as this, return this specific thing back. Now I'll remove the class component which we created for third component, and now when you refresh the thing, you'd see that the third component would work as well. So you can see that creating a function component is much more simpler than a class component. In a class component, you have to extend something, create a specific method. However, when we create a function component, all that you need to do is define a function with a specific name and do a return of it. That's all. What we'll do in this course is wherever we are creating simple components, we'll try and use function components. Class components have a few additional features on top of the function components. One of them is something called state. We'll talk about state a little later, but until then, what we'll do is we'll try and keep using function components to keep things simple. I would recommend you to try creating a fourth component as a functional component and include it in the display of the page. In this quick video, we looked at what is a function component. We saw that defining a function component was much simpler than a class component.